Hi guys, and welcome back to Correct My Swing, where I'm Andy and this is Josh, and again we just chat golf and how to improve your golf. So we had a question that last week from a professional talking about golf fitness, and
we've got to it's actually come up a few times now, hasn't it?
Well, to be fair, we have, and you know, I've got no doubt the more we have the conversations and the more we go on, that we're going to have more and more. Is that what is the best generic or the best golf fitness program? Yeah. So it got us thinking, you know, because it was a question that I think many golfers are. I would hope that if you take the sport seriously, is it fair to say that you're aware, and especially if you follow any media and recent media, that most top end professionals, that top 1%, 2%, are making some drastic changes in their fitness levels and in their body percentages.
Well, they're actually they're taking it serious now. They're training like athletes. They're taking care of themselves. They're looking at nutrition, looking at sleep. They're looking at recovery. They're looking at the training. It's like anything. The training's the easy part. It's everything else that certainly golfers never really took any notice of whatsoever. Like, people can't say working out for golf is new. It's not. I mean, Gary Player's been doing it for years. I mean, even if you go back to like real like golf history, like not real golf, but a long time ago, when Arnold Palmer was just getting on the scene, a few of his contemporaries were lifting weights to help them hit it a long way. So, like you say, you can't say the training's new. It's just that golfers have really started to take care of themselves in all aspects of making sure that the full approach is all taken care of.
And I think that, and what we're seeing now definitely is that's coming, you know, it's becoming more and more popular with the young pros on the tour. You know, obviously with your experience, with you working with young golfers at a university level, all those kind of things, that, you know, you're aware that everyone is seeking that. And I also think a lot of amateur or top amateur golfers are also recognizing the fact that they have to get fit and strength. So it all then come about, well, where do people start and what do people do? And, you know, is there one size fits all program?
No,
there's not. Sorry,
it's like shoe size, isn't it? We're all not a size 8 or a size 10.
You know, and this is what
it just doesn't work, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. And unfortunately, you know, and again, this is probably a controversial thing in the golf fitness industry, that we're coming out there to say, well, if you just do this exercise, this exercise, you're going to play better golf. And unfortunately, I don't think anyone can guarantee that. I don't think anyone can turn around and say, will it make you fitter, stronger, and as a person if you just do big deadlifts, pull-ups, all those kind of things? 100%. You know,
of course it will. Like, will it make your club speed go up? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it will make your club speed go up. Will it give you better control through impact? Probably not.
But will it make you play better golf? Will it improve your scores? Will it make you more consistent? And
possibly, and it's only a possibly.
But also, I think the fact of this with Dash is you can't give guarantees on that.
No.
You know,
too many other variables.
Well, one, there's too many variables, but also there's an argument to say that, you know, and we're not here to critique anything in the golf fitness world. We know there's some fantastic people doing some absolutely brilliant work. And, you know, listen, hand on heart, number one, but you always respond to this is, if people are at least considering it and doing something, any level of strength training, we applaud you from at least doing something rather than doing nothing.
Yeah, something's always better than nothing.
So, you know, we're 100% saying that if you're going to do something, then great. All we're suggesting is that we have to also think about a way of individualizing the program to you. And this is something that we're very passionate about, in the sense of, you know, everyone does, as humans, we all move differently, you know, and no one is the same. You know, being a geek and studying how people have moved for the last 20 years, you know, and being fortunate enough to work with some very high level bodybuilders who spend their whole life looking for symmetry because they get judged on symmetry. As much for me to turn around and go, but we live in an asymmetrical world, so you're never going to look the same. So, you know, I think, and that's exactly the same with, you know, my famous saying that I've always used is, we never walk into a room and expect people to look the same. So why on earth do we come to the assumption everyone's going to move the same? And so the whole point being is that I think there has to be some level of individuality to a program if you want to make the extra steps, you know, and one of the reasons why that brought us to creating our product on it, that, you know, we had to find a way that we could help the masses, that we could help as many golfers as we possibly could in a more tailored and individual way.
It's, I mean, from a golfer's perspective, certainly when I was playing more, whether it be recreationally before I turned pro, and then when I was doing a small number of just local events, and I certainly started to look into fitness for golf, and just kind of thought there must be something. I always say better. I know you say that's not the right terminology, but different, more specific. Like, yes, doing squats and pull-ups and press-ups and bench press and box jumps and med ball throws, and yes, that's going to make me more explosive, and yes, that's going to make me stronger. But there has to come a point where you need more specificity for the movement patterns and muscle groups that are used in your sport. And now that's not to say you need to mimic your sport in the gym. Like, don't misunderstand that you should go, because you're a golfer or a rotational athlete, you should just go and lash med balls against the wall and everything will be hunky-dory. No. Like, you train the movement pattern and the movement muscle groups that work to support your movement, not to mimic your movement and mimic your sport. So being more specific of, if a rugby player is explosive or American football player is explosive, so I should train like that because I want to be explosive. Yes, you can take parts of it, not all of it. Take parts that will make you a bit bigger, great. Take parts that will make you a bit stronger, great. More explosive, fantastic. Being able to do 20 bench press at 105 kilos or whatever they're like part of the NFL combined, is that going to really make you any better? Maybe. But then you need to become more specific in terms of, what muscle groups support my movement patterns in my golf swing?
And I think it's do you know what I really liked about the fact of you talk about muscles that almost complement the ones that help you play golf, that support it. And if you think of your body as a team, one of the big things we see with anyone that has to play golf and wants to play, they've got to practice loads.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's such a skill dominant sport. Which
means that all the muscles that help you hit the ball, the power muscles that create the stuff, most people are quite efficient with and effective with, because they're training that, they're smashing the driver 50, 60, 70, 80 times every time they go to the range.
Also on that, sorry to jump in and interrupt, but when you mimic your sport in the gym, all you're doing is you're just putting more stress and pressure through things that you already use anyway. So you're not building a more robust support system to make you better out on the golf course. You already rotate a lot. Why do it more in the gym? Why exacerbate it? So regardless if you're an amateur golfer that plays once a week or a tour pro that plays 4 to 6 times a week, plus all the practice, a pro have thousands of swings every week. Why are they going to go into the gym and start doing more like rotations and golf swings in the gym? Why? Like, surely it's just going to put more stress and more pressure through the body, an entire system that is the body. You're like, well, you want to build something that's going to help you, not just possibly help you break down.
I think the bigger thing for that is one of the things that we've both, spend a lot of time analysing is in how people move, is the fact that, and we opened up with everyone's an individual and everyone moves in different ways. So, and I think that the worrying thing for me is that, and I'm sure people are, and I'm hoping that all fitness professionals before they are getting people to throw medicine balls against the wall really, really fast, are doing some level of screening to identify, actually, where does this person move from? Because, if someone has got an uncontrolled movement, let's say they've got an inability to decelerate the spine very effectively anyway, like you just said there, then one, just playing golf can be a predictor or an issue that could long-term create problems, especially spine pathology, which we know is very, very common in golf, and having a bad back is quite not a nice thing to go through. But secondly, then if you're then accelerating that button, putting even more speed and load through that pattern thing, then you're almost, as an argument, say you're given the inevitable half the time to get to the point of where you're going to break. So, so I think the key thing is, and one of the reasons why we did what we did and the study that we did in looking at how people move and analyzing them, was so that, we could help people individualize a specific corrective program, or golf fitness program, whatever you want to name that our programs are, to a swing fault, so that they're not individually as to the one person, but we can make some good guesses and some good assumptions based on the study that we did, where we analyzed lots of golfers. We looked at the swing fault they had and what movement faults were associated with that, and therefore we can then break down. So we now know if that you slice the ball, that you need our left miss program, and our left miss program says that what we did was the majority of people that sliced the ball and fit into our left miss program overused their latissimus dorsi and underused their serratus anterior. Mm-hmm. They couldn't rotate particularly very well from the hip, and they couldn't control lateral shift through the glute medius or adductors. They actually couldn't control the neck particularly well, which you think, what's that important? But keeping your head still is fundamentally. And
well, let's see. Well, on that point, it's not about like keeping your head still. It's like, can it support like your rotation? Can it support your like flexion and extension through in like your golf posture? So you're obviously slightly bent forward, but if you can't control your neck, well, your head's going to move away in the downswing. But also, if you can't control your rotation and like the way it tilts on the through swing, that's going to block you. Like, that's a very common, like what was taught a long time ago was, well, keep your head down, watch the ball be hit. And that's now common knowledge that, well, actually that's utter nonsense. If you keep your head down too long, then it's blocking your like trail side from coming through correctly.
Right. Okay.
So realistically, if you can't then kind of getting back to what you're saying, that you're not being able to control your neck, then if you can't control how like rotate and tilts, then you're not able to like follow the club through impact, and that should like your head should match what your sternum's doing.
Yeah.
As your sternum's facing the target, your face should be facing, or as your sternum is facing like the target where you're hitting towards, then like your eyes should be sort of track what your sternum's doing. If it's not, then obviously it's a hindrance, put it that way.
No, but I think this is all good points, because I think most people wouldn't consider that, and definitely, so that the idea is that there are lots of things, and I guess if you've got uncontrolled neck, then that also changes your spinal angle and can affect the whole thing anyway, because your neck's attached to your thoracic spine and then your lumbar spine. So there's an awful lot of things in that, and this is why again, coming back to where we sit in the world and what we're trying to achieve by having these conversations and by developing the correct mass swing programs, is the fact that we want to make better golfers. We want to see them more efficient. We want to see them more effective on the golf. We want people to enjoy golf more for longevity as well. And as much as we know that also sits with working with a good coach. And yes, you have to be fit and healthy and all the other things to become a good golfer. And yes, you have to be able to control the robustness. So you do have to be at a certain level of strength. One of the big things we will always stand by is that once you can, first of all, build your foundations, so once you understand that you move well, effective and efficiently, which fundamentally is going to improve your golf straight away, and we've proven that with our study, that's when you can then start getting a bit giddy, because you've got a good platform, you've got a good foundations to start putting some decent strength on. Which kind of leads me to the point where, one of the things that what we're proud of what we've created is a sense of, for the majority of you listening to this and watching this, we have created a program that, as long as you understand what your common swing fault is, we can help you. Okay. Now,
from previous videos, if you don't know, you can use your strike pattern as well.
Oh, nice.
So go back and watch the heel strike and toe strike videos.
Go and watch our heel strike and toe. Great link. That's why we create such a great team between us. But thirdly, one of the things is that there may be some of you watching this. Well, I am I want to be the best I can be in the world. And there's some of those aspirations of that, and, fantastic. And that's great. And, we've been very fortunate enough over the years that myself and Josh have worked with some very elite people that of all different levels of sports that want to be the best they can in the world. And, and if that's you and you're a junior, and we had some nice conversations last week with a coach that asked us to go and do some work with some of their players because they actually want to be the best they can be, then you probably do need to seek to go and see a golf individual, somebody who at least is very used to assessing movement, very used to dealing with what that means and how that relates to the issues you've got. So kind of bringing it back to track one. If you don't do anything at all, if you don't do any strength work whatsoever, then I would make an argument that something is better than nothing, because but
there is a caveat to that. Yeah,
caveat that, you know, one of the big things is, you know, you also want to make sure that you're doing something that is going to be more specific to you if you want to be time efficient. And one of the big things is that, you know, what hopefully by looking at a kind of semi-tailored program, which we've created.
I'd say it's general to the person, but it's very specific to the ball flight. It's very specific to the performance element. So yes, it is general, because we found that people with this ball flight all have those compensations, or make those compensations, or have uncontrolled movement in these areas. So yes, this is general, but it is very, very specific to the performance element.
No, totally agree. And I think one of the things I would suggest is, if you've got any questions regarding this, you know, we understand this is a topic that's probably going to come up over and over again, and we, you know, very comfortable to talk about this topic, then please do reach out to us. You know, one of the things that we want to do is we want to hear from you. We want to understand what your knowledge is, and if there's anything that you need answering, then please let us have your questions, and me and Josh will answer them for you. You know, this is something that we set out to do. You know, we set out to try and achieve, to make all golfers more knowledgeable and move better from our perspective, and share the experiences and knowledge that we've got. So please do email us any questions at helpme@correctmyswing.com. Got that wrong last time. Or look at our social media profiles. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are on Twitter. So please reach out to us, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. And until next time, take care.